Hello, this is Iron Bill back again with another video. Tonight's video is going to be some PvP, and in particular I'll be highlighting the contingency. Now my particular role, if I check it out, is one with Frenzy, Surplus, Accurized Rounds. I have Corkscrew Rifling or Polygonal Rifling. I stuck with the Corkscrew Rifling, and I just noticed I knew I had a Handling Masterwork, but I've only taken that to level 6, and what happened was I got this gun and I thought, before I melt it into something else, I'll go ahead and test it out, and I really like it. So it's very good in 6s. I don't know about 3s, but I don't play a lot of 3s anyway, so it's working out pretty well. And I'm coupling that with the Peace Bond, which is the sidearm, stasis sidearm of the season, and let's just let it play out. We're on Anomaly, and there was a player on the other side. You'll see him pretty soon. He's running a Lorentz driver and a sidearm, and he was their top guy. And we wound up in quite a few altercations, although I think he got the better end of it by far, being that he was their top guy, and I'm not ours. I never will be. With the scout rifle, particularly this one, I'm not good enough. I'm not saying that you couldn't take it and frag out with it, but it's not really going to be a close quarters weapon. It's going to be a good mid-range to long-range weapon, and that's going to be about it. Now this guy Rich comes up here with the sidearm, and there I am trying to use. He led with the grenade, softened us up, and then of course polished off with the sidearm. I mean, he's clearly a practice player, but my contingency didn't have any answer for that. And there he was, crouch shooting right there again, and I'm thinking, oh, this guy's going to be super annoying. And at some points he was. Now where this is used best, what I try to do when I play this map is I try to just play an area. Obviously I'm using my Graviton forfeit helmet, and I'm set up for invisibility. It'll come quite often. I think about every 11 seconds I can turn it invisible. I'm waiting for that. Yeah, I know he's going to come through, and I'm sick to death of being stasis stomped like that, so I just kind of held off of it. But my whole team is there. That's not doing us any good, so I work around this way. I'm invisible. He sees me first, but there are two of them there, and this time it's Hoon. All right. Very, very cold start. I think this was my first match of the day, and I'm just really trying to feel it out here. I get the heavy, and I forgot that I had Reed's Regret on. This is not a great option for what I'm about to do. I should have had a grenade launcher or a Wartcliffe, and I would have polished all these guys off. His strafe game was pretty strong, and if I stay there, all three of them are going to team shoot me down, so I'm just going to trace them out. They start to pursue, and you can kind of see them on the radar, and then they back off as I get towards friendlies, which is fine. Give myself a little bit of space and let my weapons work. Okay, so he's going to come over the top here, I think. Yeah. And I wind up taking him. So, this is one of the positions that is pretty defensible. Yeah. And I'm just trying to head glitch here and keep an eye on the radar and keep from getting flanked. I like to cover this area, and this is where I finally set up and do a pretty decent job contributing. Now I'm not going to get a bunch of kills outright, although I did there. But I am going to contribute to bringing people down as they jump across. You know, just getting to the place where you can help break a shield. That's really about all a quality player, well, the quality of player that I am can possibly do. I'm just an older guy, and I just do the best I can. All right, so I knew there was a guy underneath, and he would eventually try to come up. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oof. It's going around bad here. I know we're about to get shoved out of here because they're tired of us working on it. And there's the guy with the Lorentz driver. Yeah, he was pretty solid with that. And honestly, I played kind of dumb. I'm playing very flat-footed, as you can tell. And I'm playing on a mobile class. Now, I have these guys cold here in just a second. I get the one. And I've got him cold, but I forget about looking to my left, and his teammate defends him. And it kind of cheesed me because that was Rich right there. I mean, I was going to get him. And really not much he could have done about it. All right, so I'm going to toss a grenade in there. That's going to force him to have to move out, which he does. But, I think I have my sensitivity set too high. I'm running 15, I think 15.8 and 0.8. And I may have to bring that ADS down a little bit, because you can see how I just kind of lifted that to the ceiling at first. And as long as I keep everything level and strafe, it's actually really good. But the minute I have to make an adjustment that's vertical, I tend to get lost. All right. And I'm just missing the shots. I don't know why. It looks to me like I'm hitting them. And there's Mr. Lawrence Driver. He's actually just very good with that. We've got a sizable lead, but as often happens in a game of Control, things can change depending upon who has control. I was just a little slow on that. I see the super's a bad one and I can't hang out there. And I get Hoon. That's what you get for getting me. I can't stay there, or I'm gonna... And then I step back into it. With being the malfeasance, all he had to do is put one more shot on me, because I think he had 4 in me to begin with. They were bodies, so it didn't kill me, but the 5th one causes the explosion, so I kind of asked for that. I didn't realize it was a malfeasance when he did it. Now, I heard a super here, and that's why I backed out and figured let that play out. And then I catch Rich right there. Oh, that felt good. There's his buddy. Now, I should have my peace bond out, but I didn't. And things are beginning to tighten up. And I'm taking heat. And I have to back out, and I pass through that person's well. And the invisibility doesn't do you a whole lot of good if you got an arc soul sitting right there on you. Now watch this Rich play again. See, I see 2 of them. I have one low and I have one high, and I don't... I mean, do you get it by the Wither Horde, or do you get it by the Lawrence Driver? There were 2 of them there against my scout rifle. That was a foregone conclusion. Alright, so I start playing this zone. Now, that I can see as a miss. I got some tags and I have to get some credit on it, but, I didn't really actually do it. I'm afraid to push in here because I figure I'm going to get stasised. So I just kind of bait it and come back. And I think eventually I look over towards the A side and see that somebody's going for it. Alright, so... yeah, I think we have a pretty good run here first, though. Alright, so I see somebody going for A. Come out to assist. By this point in time, somebody's positioned up by the heavy. He doesn't see me. And even I couldn't miss that one. Alright. There's my stasis. Gotta get out of there. Trail it on out. Hook back towards A. That should take me towards friendly. Sometimes when I run away, I run towards the enemy, which is bad. Okay, and I missed the melee. But I think this guy's not getting away. No way. Alright. So, holding this position pretty well, and yeah, I put a super on that guy. It was a solar super, but they kept invading that particular area, and I figured that was placed in such a way they may not see it if they rush in. But it doesn't last very long, unfortunately. And I think I cheesed that guy off with a solo super. But we got skinny. Somebody's coming over to the left. I can feel it. And I just don't make a very good play here. I should have gotten out. Could have dropped below. A lot of things I could have done, and it was Rich, and he just kind of came in. And I handed them a defeat that turned it their way. So now they're up by 5 points. We'd been up by 30. We're down by 5. But never say die, because if you keep playing, maybe it can come back. So again, I've got to play my control game. Put some heat on him. There's Mr. Lawrence. Got him. Just kind of watch this area. They will come push me out of it again because they're not going to let me have that spot. Yeah, we just can't quite get B. And I'm not watching my radar very well. Got to be careful not to get pinched. There he is. And see, they always bring a couple. They don't. He doesn't come alone. They always bring a couple. And I'm not criticizing that, by the way. That's just smart. If I have my most glaring problem, obviously, is that I isolate myself too often. I just put myself in a place where I'm bound to die. Now, okay, now I've got to try to defend this. Going to help finish him. The grenade polishes him, but he gets the zone, and we're going to have to get it back. 144, 144. All right, so we're tied again. We got the power play though, so our kills are worth 3, theirs are worth 1, or yeah, something like that. And then here comes the super, and there's nothing I can do. He sees me. I shouldn't have fired on him. I should have just jumped over him and kept going. But fortunately, my teammates kind of came in. So how did I do? Obviously, I wasn't the top frag on the team, but I always try to go positive and contribute. That's always my goal. And I think after the first part of the match, I settled down and I did okay. 1.58 combat efficiency, that's solid for me, and 19 defeats. Yeah, no, they weren't all my kills, obviously, but, you know, I contributed. So that's the best I can do. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching, and with that, this is Iron Bill, signing out.